Hi guys, I'm back. Last night I went to go look at the doll to see if we could do the rest of the stuff to it. I had to put a second coat on the worms, do a gloss coat, and all of that. The gloss stuff, the triple thick, was still not dry. So I couldn't do anything except for I did glue the hair back on, that's not rocket science. You put some of this stuff is what I used. I put this on, put the hair back on, and I am going to show you the neat job that I did to get it to hold so that it would stay glued down without me holding on to it. So I'm going to set you down and I'm going to show you this. Let me move this light. Let's see if I put it up like that, maybe we'll see. Okay, ready for this? This is, some creative work. Look, this is a Dixie cup. This is just some yarn because her hair didn't want to stay stuck down. So I sliced the cup up the side, put it around her head, and put it on there and tied it with the yarn so that it would hold her hair down against the glue. She's pretty dry. This way we can work on her hair and, age her hair and all that. And we're good. But the worm came out well. You can see that I added the blood color to her mouth because I wanted to get a little bit of the gloss on there, and I know it takes forever to dry, so I went ahead and did that. I just smushed it on with paint, took my finger and dabbed it around. And I figured while I was waiting for everything to dry, I would go ahead and throw on the final coat of the matte medium. So she has her final matte medium coat on. Oh, and I glued the maggots onto the wound with the triple thick because, like I said, that stuff takes so long to dry. And I didn't want to keep putting it on and then having to wait 2 days for it to dry because it's so cold and crappy here. I will warn you, I keep telling you that the acrylic paint washes off with no problem, and that's true, it does. But once you add that gloss to it, it does not want to wash off. I still have it on my fingernails. And I have bathed the dog, did dishes, I've done all kinds of things, and it's still stuck to my nails. So be careful with that. The other thing that does not come off is permanent is the alcohol spray. Once you spray that alcohol spray, it's done. If you get it on your nails, you're pretty much going to have to let it wear off. That stuff is pretty solid. So right now, while I have her in her stand for a quick second, I am going to take a Sharpie marker, any color you like, and I'm going to sign her. And I like to always sign the back so that people can just undo the dress or the outfit a little bit and see where I've signed it. So this way, every doll comes signed and dated. 2016, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to set her over a little bit, and I'm going to show you her dress. The dress really came out great. Here's the pants. Which light is better? If I turn this light on, but turn this light off, is that better? Not really, eh? Let's see. Well, hell. There. That really doesn't help all that very much, does it? Oh, dear. Now we're all in the dark. Telling you what. My husband's off on an overnight tonight. So I thought, woohoo, I can get in here and I won't be disturbed. It'll be nice. Oh, jeepers. Let's see about that. You can see my mess nice and clear all behind me. Anyway, these are the pants. They dried pretty well. I'm happy with them. The crinoline, dirtied that up just a touch. But the dress, I think, turned out super good. I mean, I just am loving how the dress turned out. Yes, there are still some real shiny, clean spots, but I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna cry about it. And once we put it on her, which we're gonna do right now in a second, once we put it on her, we'll see if we want to do some more. We can even do more distressing once it's on her. I will tell you this, that when I was using this thing to distress, now it had a sandpaper barrel end on it, not the end that's on here now. I caught it in the fabric and it scared the crap out of myself. I was going along, and all of a sudden the fabric wrapped up in it and it stopped, and I was like, oh my god. So be careful. Be careful if you do that. It's scary. Okay, so we're going to take her off of her stand. And we are going to get her dressed. Normally you'd think you're going to put the pants on first, then you put the crinoline on, then you put the dress on. But that's only if you're putting stuff over her head. Because we have to lower her into the outfit, you're going to actually start from the top out. So you're going to go with the dress first. Yeah, them are good and stuck. Make sure the maggots were dry. How many times are you going to say that in your lifetime? And then once we get this on her, I might rip this sleeve completely off because of where the wound and the maggots are. If the sleeve doesn't show it well enough, I might rip it off. I mean, that's a lot of work we did to that. I want it to show. I also threw some paint on her other hand because I figured, you know, if she's out munching on people, she's going to be using her hands and they're going to get bloody and icky. So that's my thinking anyway. I mean, hell, I eat ribs and got that crap up to my elbows. Of course, they're not human ribs, but same difference, I would imagine. Okay. Alrighty. It just goes on with Velcro. It's not difficult. Okay, now we're going to put this on. And then we're going to put these on. And like I said at the very first one, these are a little dry rotted around the waist. I might tack them a little bit with some fabric glue. I have something called Fabri-Tac that might work. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When we sprinkled that coffee on, and plus the paint and everything, she's getting a little bit of a kind of a funky smell. So what I do is I take my, there it is. I have, this is a squirt bottle that was filled with about this much water, just plain tap water, and about the rest of the way up with, like, Downy or, what's that other one called? Why can't it? Snuggle fabric softener, the liquid fabric softener. And it makes like a Febreze type of a thing, and it's not harmful. So I will go ahead and give her a spritz. It won't hurt anything because she's already been sealed. Don't do this until you've sealed it. But it gets rid of that funk from the coffee and the paint and all of that. And I pretty much spritz everything. And also, if you're doing dolls and the hair is really matted and frizzy, this is excellent for fixing that. You really have to saturate the hair to do that, though. And we actually want her hair, you know, frizzy and nasty. Okay, so this is our girl. This is what our girl looks like. What do you think? I think she looks pretty good. Pretty good. Go us. I mean, we still have a little bit of work to do. And I'm going to put her back on her stand. And I'm going to jam her sleeves up to her elbows. And see, this is showing her arm where the color is not. So I'm going to adjust it so that it's not showing so much. That's fine. It isn't hurting anything, but it was a glaring white arm. So fix that. But we're going to work on her hair now. So I'm going to put her back in the stand so she's easier for me to control. And she doesn't get unruly on me. Excuse me, darling. I have to slip this up your dress. That's all right. We're all friends, right? Okay. Okay, so she's in her stand. And I wonder if I can get you to where you can see this a little bit better. Maybe. Pardon my reach. Oh. Let's see. How's that? That might work. Cross fingers. If you start falling off, you're going to hear me scream and I'm going to dive to catch you. I like my phone too much to let it die. All right, now these braids are not actually hair braided. I mean, they're her hair, doll hair, but they're braided and then cut exactly to the right length. So if I were to undo this and it's sewn into the wig thing, so in taking this off, see I found a string. I'm just going to clip this string and that should release, well, there we go. See, the braids are sewn together. And I don't care for, I mean, the braids don't bother me, but we need to jack up her hair a little bit. And, oh, see, the end of that one, the rubber band is dry rotted anyway, so they weren't going to last very much longer anyway. But we have to jack her hair up, and that's going to be harder to do with the braids in. So, pulled that string out. And I'm going to work on getting this one out. Okay, so there's her hair. Now she kind of looks like a jacked up Pippi Longstockings. But that's okay, because we're going to jack this hair up. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to, you know, rat it all crazy and stuff. But I'm probably even going to leave the braids just like that. Pull these little ribbons, and I'll dirty up them ribbons. And what I'm going to do is I am actually going to put a pair of gloves on because I don't want this all over my hands. And it's just easier doing it this way. Okay. Remember how we did the dress? Where we just threw everything on there? It's kind of what we're going to do to her hair. So I have the triple thick, which I'm going to squirt a little bit into the palm of my hand after I clean off the thing. So I'm going to squirt just about that much. That much. That's it. And then I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to pick up, let's see, what colors do we want? Let's get some brown. Put that on there. Let's get some of the red for sure, a big glob of red. Put that on there. Let's take a touch of black, put that on there. Maybe some beige. How about a little bit of the bright green? See that? Now I'm gonna do this. And we're going to cause people to gasp. But we're gonna dirty her hair. And if it gets on the, well, I'm going to do the ribbons too for sure. But if it gets on her dress, like you can take your hands and, you know, kind of mush some of the excess into the dress. That's okay. I don't care if it gets on her face even. When I'm rubbing it into her hair, can you see I just rubbed it across her scalp? Not worried about that. Don't even care. I just want where you would think that like her hair is trailing and it got into the goos. That's what I want. I want that. And then when this dries, it's going to dry crispy. You know, like from the 80s when we used to tease our hair up real big, it's going to dry like that, like Aquanet crispy. As a matter of fact, I actually bought a can of Aquanet from the dollar store just for doll hair because that stuff is fantastic hair glue. It's not permanent though. This is the either Elmer's glue, PVA glue, white glue, or the triple thick is pretty permanent. I mean, once we do this, you're not going to undo this. Not without a lot of headache. But see why I put the gloves on? It gets real gross real fast. So I'm going to go right back into my palette. I'm going to grab a little bit more of the brown and I'm just going to like mush it into her hair so that it looks like, you know, so that it looks disgusting. We're going for disgusting here. There's no two ways about it. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to take a little bit of the red and the black on the palette, mixing it with my finger, but not mixing it totally. See? It's mixed in pretty good. You can see where there's the burgundy and the black and the red. And I'm going to put that like up towards the front. Like that. And the ends, I really want the ends to look trashed. Because that would be the part that gets, you know when your hair is dirty, how it looks. I mean, everybody's had those days where they get up and don't feel like fussing with it, so they throw a cap on and they go. If I didn't have the head the shape of a cue ball, I'd wear a cap every time I leave because my hair's always awful. But sadly, my head is shaped like a cue ball and I look ridiculous in every hat I've ever tried on. So, that's not an option for all of us. Those of you that can, I'm jealous. I'll be the first one to admit it. I want a hat head. I love hats. I'd totally wear those, like Kentucky Derby hats. I'm not kidding. I'd wear them to the grocery store. People would look at me and be like, what the hell is wrong with her? Oh, she's one of those people that doesn't know she looks ridiculous and doesn't own a mirror. Bless her heart. Nobody loves her enough to tell her she looks ridiculous. Oh, there's not been often that my husband says that looks awful because he loves me. And if I like it, and I'm happy wife, happy life, he pretty much lets me do. But there's been a few times where he said, maybe you should go look again. Bless his heart. You know the kind of courage it takes for a husband to tell his wife, you look awful. Love him to death. She's listing a little bit in her stand from me scrubbing on her hair, so I had to put her back. All right, so I think she looks pretty good. I'm going to put just a dab. Oh, no, maybe not. I'm trying to decide. When I did the stuff on her face, and I told you I took my finger and I dabbed it off. Let me grab a hold of her because I got fresh paint on the hand. Can you see her mouth? I'm wondering if I should cover that spot. No, I don't think so. I think it looks more realistic if some of the skin underneath is showing. But I am going to, see, this is the white part that's showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the paint and I'm going to cover up that fabric on her body. I told you I don't like to paint the fabric, but if it's going to show and be that stark and that startling, I'll go in and I'll throw some paint on it. I'm not going to paint the whole body, but I'll paint that part. And I'm just taking the red and black mixed. And then I'm going to take a little bit of green, you know, just to keep it interesting. Take a little bit of green. Well, that's actually quite a bit of green, but it's going to blend in anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. So we'll smush that around. Actually, want a little more of the blood color. And I'm running out of red because I've been using the blood color. So I have a ton of black and I'm running out of red. And I'm going to dibble that around. And anywhere where I have green paint on her dress, like on the edges, I'm going to go around and dab on that because I don't want green paint on the dress. I just want it on her skin tone, or where her skin tone would be. So, okay. I think that looks pretty good. Scoop a little bit more and get up. You can't see what I'm doing, and I keep trying to remind myself. And I forget everything. So, you know. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? We still have worms to put in her hair too. So I still have to get those down, but I'm going to wipe the extra off on her dress. Because why not? You know? Why dirty up a paper towel when we're going to distress this dress anyway? Okay. So, cover up my paint palette. Move my scissors back because scissors and me, probably not a good idea. When I was younger, you know those 2-pronged meat forks that you use for like stabbing big pieces of meat and picking them up out of the pot? I was babysitting when I was younger, and that was sticking up out of the drawer, and the prongs were sticking like towards me. I think. No, they were sticking inwards because I don't know how in the heck I did it, but I slammed the drawer because I was in the middle of cooking dinner and the dinner was burning. So I went into the drawer to get a pair of tongs and grabbed the tongs, slammed the drawer, and went to go turn around, and my hand was stuck. And it didn't register. And I was like, why is my hand stuck? And then I looked down, and that fork had been sticking up a little bit out of the drawer, and I must have had my hand just right. And it went through my middle finger, through here, and out the tip, and embedded into the underneath of the counter. And I couldn't get my hand. To this day, I have a scar and a lump there. And I couldn't get the fork out either. I mean, it didn't hurt. It went in so fast that it like created a vacuum, and it didn't hurt at all. So I called my house. I was just 2 houses down from home. I called my house, and my sister comes down. She's older than me by about 3 years. And I was maybe 14 at the time. And she comes down, and she says, because when I called, I said, I've done something. You need to come down here. I need some help. So she comes down and she says, what did you do now? And I turned around, and I had the handle of the fork was sitting against my wrist, and the prong was sticking out about that much out of the tip of my finger. And I turned around, and she saw that, and she went, oh, we got to take you home. Mom's got to see that. Well, in walking home, I passed the neighbor who lives in between of where I was babysitting and my house. And he saw it, and he said, do you need me to yank it out for you? I'll yank it out for you. And as soon as my sister saw that and reacted the way she did, I started to feel it. And I started to cry like I was being tortured. It still did not physically hurt. But all I could think of is, holy cow, if my cool, calm, and collected older sister is looking at it like that, how bad must it really be? I had to go to the hospital. They had to numb me up, and then they yanked it out. No big deal. Left a scar, but not really a big deal. Okay, so I painted the worms. Getting back to the doll. I painted the worms, and this is what happens when I peel them off the tray. there's no way around that. It's going to happen. So when we put them in her hair, we just have to make sure that we hide that part. So basically, see, she's listing. See what she's doing on her thing? So basically, when we put them in her hair, we have to kind of hook them in so that that part is at the bottom. Just like that. Just like that. I kind of think we're gilding the lily. I don't think she needs any extra worms, but I made all these worms. What am I going to do with them? I mean, I guess I can throw them in a jar and save them for another project, but, you know, we have worms. Let's use them. All right, let's put some in. Let's put this one, like, right here in the back and just kind of hang it there. See, I'm decent in the dark. And here's a good curly one for right there. What do you think? One more? Which one should we do? Should we do a really curly one or like a corkscrewy one? Let's do... They're not easy to get up either. I got a corkscrewy one. And we're just gonna drill it like right there. There. So now she's got some worms. She's got some maggots. And she's good. And I like that the maggots are not like popping out. You know what I mean? I like that they're more subtle. But I think she turned out fantastic. Now we just have to come up with a story for her and a name. I don't know yet what that's going to be. I'll try to work on it later tonight. If not tonight, then tomorrow. But as soon as I figure out the story, I will post it on my Facebook page. And I'll have the link down in the box below to my Facebook page so that you guys can all enjoy the story and the photos. Now, my son-in-law made me a photo box, but I don't know how to use it. So my photos always end up looking really weird when I do them in the photo box. But I'm going to try that again and see if I can't figure that thing out. It's a great thing because normally I just take a sheet. I drape it over my TV, set the doll on a stool, drape the sheet over the stool. I apologize to anybody that I just butchered your accent. I don't even know what accent that was. But anyway, I drape the sheet over the stool and the TV. And then I take the photos that way. I don't iron the sheet first. So my daughter said, that's not good. You should at least iron the sheet. Well, no. I don't even own an ironing board. I do like to iron. Just I'm not good. No. Not for 5 minutes worth of pictures. That's not happening. I mean, if people can't look past my wrinkled sheet to see the gloriousness of these dolls, that's their problem, not mine. Right? Don't you think so? She thinks so too. So, for the next project, I'm kind of excited for this. I have extra worms left over. I'll throw these in a drawer. Somebody gave me an angel doll, complete with wings. And I'm thinking that that's going to be the next project. I'm pretty excited to work on that. Somebody wants me to do them a Krampus doll, and I'm dying to do the Krampus doll. But I can't find an appropriate doll to turn into Krampus. So until I can find that doll, then I have to wait. You know, normally by now, places are flooded with dolls that would work, but I haven't found one yet. I'm still looking. It's just going to take a little while. You know, such is life. So I am going to give you a quick preview of the angel doll. She's been sitting here. Now this says it's a premiere edition, but I've checked, it's not really worth really anything. But just look at these wings, guys. Just look at the wings. How exciting is this going to be? I need to take a survey and see what colors we should do those wings in, because I'm going to use the alcohol ink, and I can mix any color to make this doll. I mean, I've got red, teal, purple, black, green. We need to figure out what color what color the wings are gonna be. So anyway, thank you so very much for joining me on this. And can you believe after 7 videos that we finally finished her? I can't. It feels like it's taken forever, and I do apologize, but you know, like I said, these dolls are intense. They take a very, very, very long time to complete because all of that drying time in between. Some things you can hurry and some things you can't. If you try to use the heat gun on that triple thick stuff, it bubbles and boils. It can't rush that. The dress takes a couple days because you have to wet it, dry it, paint it, wet it. You know, there's a lot of wet paint on it, so it stays constantly wet. And you know how long the skin stuff takes. There's no speedy in this. You cannot just slap a coat of paint on and call it done. At least not if you're going to do it like this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for the next doll. And I hope you hit subscribe and click like, and, you know, shoot me a comment and let me know what you think. I appreciate it. I love constructive criticism. If you think there's something I could have done better, please tell me. I am all about learning and sharing secrets. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.